Hi, my name is Caitlin Webb, and this is my reflection on assistive technology. Going through this lesson, I figured out that I knew more about assistive technology than I thought I did going into the lesson due to working every day with students with learning disabilities. I didn't realize that some of the low-tech devices that are used every day, like pencil grips and other things, were also considered assistive technology. I just thought that adding the word technology into it was just a computer or like a device that had power. But I now know that anything that you give to a student to help them learn in any different way than their peers is considered assistive technology. Assistive technology is used by students with any disability that hinder them from learning with the rest of their peers. My past experiences that I have is using low and mid-level technology. I have a student who every day uses a pencil grip because he cannot hold the pencil correctly. I also have a student that has cerebral palsy that uses, he has special paper to where it can show him different boxes and it really helps him with writing. He also uses a word processing system because he can't spell or write on a piece of paper as well as the rest of his peers. The most interesting technology that I learned was the AbleNet device used by the students that can't type on a normal computer. I felt like that would be really beneficial in an FLS classroom because a lot of those students are very low or a lot lower than the rest of their peers, and they can't use the one-to-one technology that the rest of the school can use. So I think that if they had the device to hook up to their regular computers, I feel like they would believe that they would be like the rest of their peers. While I was going through the article from the Brunisma article, the three assistive technology that I felt was necessary was to sustain life, communicate, and for mobility. Sustaining life includes feeding, sleeping, and personal care. Some examples are spoons, computers, and peripheral devices. So you could use the spoons would be low tech, and then computers would be high tech, and then glasses or hearing aids would be like mid tech. Communication includes oral and written in order to interact with any other person. They can use message boards, picture systems, and FM systems. You could also use like texting on a phone. I know a lot of the students that I work with from the FLS room, they have their own text message program, and everybody in the room has a cell phone. So if they have to communicate, then they can just talk in into their phones or like text on their phones, so they could make even the most nonverbal student, give them a voice and allow them to communicate in a way that they couldn't communicate before. And then mobility helps with assisting a student from traveling from point A to point B. If they are paralyzed or they can't walk because their brain is working at a lower pace, let's say some students, yes, biologically or like birth-wise, they are 14 or 15 years old, but mentally they are 3 or 4. Not a lot of 3 or 4-year-olds are up running around, or they can't travel to a different area in the school as fast, so they can use walkers or canes or wheelchairs to get where they need to go. One that they didn't list is using like a stair glider if there's a lot of stairs in the school or stairs in an area that they need to be at for the majority of their life. When I was looking on Google, I found that a NeuroNode is another example of assisted technology. It is an electromyography or an EMG. It helps with communicating. It uses brain waves to communicate. instead of using verbal or texting with your hands. It even it helps like people with ALS or extreme cases of cerebral palsy or even like a quadriplegic. It helps them to be able to communicate with the rest of the world. I believe that allowing a student to have a voice or allowing any person to have a voice is more beneficial than having a student go out into the real world and not have anything to allow them to compare them to the rest of the society. So I think assistive technology is more useful than we all believe that it could be.